Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. Welcome to Maconi Entertainment for Friday Night Lights here from Bristol Motor Speedway, featuring the Xfinity NASCAR here tonight on a beautiful Friday night around Bristol Motor Speedway. This half-mile circuit, home to some of the fastest short track racing you'll see in all of the United States. Obviously, they put dirt, but the best type of racing is going to be on the concrete around Bristol Motor Speedway. I'm Adam Thompson, and joining me in the broadcast booth is Ewan O'Leary from across the pond. Thank you so much, Ewan, for joining us here again tonight for another great night of racing in the Xfinity car.
Thanks very much. It was a pleasure to be here last week for the final regular season race from Gateway, and pleased to be here for the first round of the playoffs as well. The top 12 drivers from the opening regular season have been selected. There they are on your screen. Already a couple of them can probably guarantee themselves that they'll be in the round of 8 coming up later on this season as well. Bryson Hicksonborough has been the pick of the drivers this season. 7 victories in his 24 starts. Adam Benefiel is second on points after his 4 victories in 19 starts has got him 38 points above the cut line already. For the other 10, it's going to be about scrapping for points and getting themselves into the round of 8 over the course of the next 3 rounds.
And you look from that third place on back, anything can happen in the playoffs, so you got to just keep on going. You just can never feel comfortable, especially if you're Joseph McWhorter, who is currently sitting in third, but only 10 points above that cut line. And if you're outside of the cut line, well, tonight you just got to get busy, get rolling, and get to the front of the pack to get those points. The way that the stages break down tonight, stage 1, 85 laps. Stage 2 will be ending on lap 170, and we will have a total of 300 laps. We're already 6 laps into this race, so tiny technical difficulties here tonight, but we are going back to racing here. This time by the pace car lights are out, and this will be a good race here. 4 different tire changes that you can put on, or excuse me, 4 tire sets, so 3 different changes, and of course that 21x incident limit. So here we go. Weather conditions great as well. 81 degrees, air temperature 84 degrees, track temperature, we are green here at Bristol Motor Speedway. You can see the cars going side by side, but the 0-2 machine kicking up the dust here and driving down the highway, it looks like, here with just here on lap number 7 of 300. And there's the car 64 on the screen now of Charles Velasquez Jr.
Yeah, they won the last round of the championship from Gateway in the last regular season race. That just got him a few bonus playoff points, which have put him into 4th place in the current playoff standings, or indeed the overall standings in this round of 12. So that just helped out a little bit. And you can see though the 0-2 just challenging Adam Benefiel at the front of the field in 83. Mark Padgett was one of those drivers who was very close to actually making it into the playoffs after the last regular season race. Of course, winning you're in this series as well as real life. And he was running up towards the front at Gateway early on in stage 1. Last week he's running up towards the front here as well tonight.
Well, you're seeing a lot of different cars taking a number of different lines here, and that's what's famous about the Bristol Motor Speedway, is that you can take that bottom side line, but you are going to absolutely harm those tires. You can take the middle line, which has quite a lot of grip in it. Not a whole lot of people realize how much grip is on the middle. They can go a little bit high, but as this race goes on, that high line is going to get far dangerous just because of the marbles that make their way up there. Right now, your race leader, Adam Benefiel, in the car 83, just leading by just a 1/10 of a second over Mark Padgett, excuse me. And then Brandon Hastings in 3rd place in the car 81. Jim Schofield, number 47 car. He is actually currently last in the round of 12, so a good run from him tonight could see him moving on to the round of 8. And then you have Kurt Mills and the car number 69. So that's the top 5 right now. I would say guys are probably not getting as racy early on. It is 300 laps. We're only 15 laps into this one, so no need to go full gas, and we have a caution out on the speedway here on lap number 15. And we got 3 cars coming together on the back straightaway, and that is the 33. It looks like involved. I can't quite see the other numbers. The 79 machine as well is involved as well. That's Hoytsma. So, and some big damage on the front of that hood because, and also that's a big concern because he is in the playoffs. Hoytsma right now sitting 5th in the playoffs, only 4 points above that cut line.
Fifth in the playoffs sounds good, doesn't it? But only 4 points above the cut line. You realise that is a big task to get through into the next round with Bristol and the Roval to come in this round. Let's not forget Kansas, you'd say, is the only what I would describe as a normal circuit, so that could make things very, very difficult indeed for Hoytsma to now progress. But there's still going to be a very, very long way to go. You'd expect all 12 of the drivers who are here tonight in the playoffs to actually soldier on no matter what happens here. As you can see, a few coming in now into the pit lane, taking this opportunity. You'd imagine it's those with damage who'll be in most.
Yeah, this is going to be kind of an interesting pit stop. Obviously, the 79 of Hoytsma currently going to need some time in the pits to get that damage repaired. So he will probably lose a few laps here to get some of that damage put back together. You also have other cars who are pulling into the pits here. It looks like it's the single pit lane, not the dual pit lane that you might see during green flag racing. That means they pull off in the on the entrance of the back straight to get into the pit lane, and then they drive all the way around. And if you're starting up front, that is a very, very long drive in order to get to your pit box.
Yeah, it's one of those things about Bristol, isn't it? Such a long, long way round. To be honest with you, I don't think we're going to see green flag pit stops today, just to go out on a limb and say that. I think it's probably unlikely, but you never know, I suppose. We could have a very long green flag run towards the end tonight. Not forgetting, of course, that final run of the day is 130 laps from the end of stage 2 right the way through to the very end of the race. But only 19 laps complete so far. There will be at the end of this caution when we'll be set to go racing again at Adam Benefield. We'll have another race restart on the front.
Adam Benefield, who has led since the drop of the green flag here, has been dominating so far, but hasn't been going terribly quick, which is his best lap time is a 15.5. The guy behind him, the 02 of Mark Paget, was just 100th of a second quicker. Here they come out of turn number 4. We are green here at Bristol Motor Speedway for Friday Night Lights with the Xfinity car. Again, nice restart there by Adam Benefield as he goes down the back straightaway all by himself. But he has Mark Paget, who is currently right behind him. Can't make a mistake. Still side by side throughout the majority of the field, though. You have a battle for third. That's the 81 of Brandon Hastings, and some cars getting squirrely up at turn number 4. And that is, you know, this is the type of track that you can just loosen. This is a car, unlike the next-gen car, which is very much planted, these Xfinity cars are not planted whatsoever, especially on a concrete oval like Bristol Motor Speedway is. You can definitely lose that rear end, and then before you know it, you are going into the wall. So you have to be careful about that and don't want to spin those tires either. It's very easy to do that as well.
That was Cody Bird going really loose through 1 and 2 that time round. All the way dropped down now to 12th place for Bird, making his 18th stop this season. No top 5s yet over the course of 2025. We'll look to end that tonight in Friday Night Lights. The lead lap at the moment, 24 cars still on the lead lap. Already this track has bitten a few, and some continuing on a little bit further down. But in terms of playoff drivers, I don't actually think we've seen too much trouble yet. You saw that Hoytsma was dropping down the field, but that seemed to be Dave Hoytsma now. I thought it was Lucas Hoytsma as well, but it turns out it's Dave Hoytsma who was dropping down in 79. So I think he must be okay, Lucas Hoytsma. Yeah, 97 is still running in 20th place, still on the lead lap. So it turns out none of our playoff drivers have quite had trouble yet, and we've gotten away with it. So yeah, Hoytsma's still going, and it's Dave Hoytsma who is down the field.
single file throughout the bottom of the racetrack, which is going to be the primary line. We are going to see some guys maybe move up a little bit as this green flag run continues on here on lap number 27. We are approaching the end of the first stage here. We're almost halfway through. So we got to keep our eyes on probably Bryson Hixenbach, who's currently running 6th. He's currently the playoff points leader by quite a margin, 58 points out in front of the championship. He has nothing to worry about. He's pretty much got himself a guarantee into the round of 8. And same with Adam Benefiel, Joseph McWhorter, who's only 10 points to the good. That is very concerning. If you are McWhorter, you got to make sure you keep a clean race here to guarantee a spot into the next round. And pretty much everybody underneath him, Eric Wineland, who's only +1 to the good right now. And I'm trying to find him on my timing table here. Do you even see him on the board here, Ewan?
Eric Wineland is, yes, at 7th place at the moment. So Wineland is here. I've not actually seen any playoff drivers not here yet, but I will. I'll go through them all properly and do an update on where everybody is a bit later on, I think, because yeah, we do need to keep an eye on the 12 drivers. There is Wineland in 87. He's just lost a little bit to that front 6, who seem to be breaking away from the rest of the field.
And of course, we also have to keep our eyes on Austin Evie, who's just -1 to the good here. So he has to beat Eric Wineland in order to get into that next round. So keep an eye out for him throughout the night. So right now, things calming down a little bit here. Everybody's still single file throughout the pack. You have Adam Benefiel, who is currently your race leader, but just holding on to it barely from Mark Paget, who is currently just a 10th. You can see he's pretty much sniffing the back bumper of that 83 machine. Jim Schofield, who is currently the 12th, who is currently 12th in the playoff standings. He's only -2 points, so right now he's actually sitting pretty good, trying and get into that round of 8.
Yeah, looking good at the moment. 2 drivers who are not looking good, by the way. 2 are not here. Joseph McWhorter and Charles Velasquez Jr., the only 2. I've just gone through them all. Only 2 of the 12 who are not here tonight at Bristol, so they're putting themselves into difficult point situations, or maybe even must-win situations in those final 2 rounds of this round of 12 of the playoffs. And the only playoff driver who's here to have had trouble tonight so far is Austin Evie, who's down 7 laps already, and that is 27th overall, but soldiering on for some points at the end of the day. And if you can pick up those, then they might be useful later on in this 3-race run in the round of 12.
Austin Evie affected by an earlier incident in the race here, and that's why he is currently down. Going through the top 10 here, Adam Benefiel, your race leader, with Mark Paget in 2nd, Jim Schofield in 3rd, Brandon Hastings, your 4th place runner, with Kirk Mills rounding out the top 5. Points championship leader of Bryson Hixenbach, and then Eric Wineland right behind him. And then you have Blake, and you got to apologize, this is my first night here on the Friday Night Lights broadcast, so if I mess up any names, I do apologize. It's Blake. Is it Coltre? I want to make sure I'm saying that right.
I think Ron's been going with Cluad, but I've probably got that wrong as well, so I don't know. we'll be guessing throughout this night, I would imagine. But yeah, caught right in this group with Wineland, who's still 7th and still staying in front of Cluad and the rest. Just seeing that they're still sort of biding their time for the moment. You do expect this at Bristol, but the amount of single file we see at the moment is a little bit unusual.
Well, not surprising though. You not want to be so aggressive super early in this race, because the track is going to definitely change. You're going to see those marbles make their way up the racetrack. If you go too hard too early, you're going to burn those tires off. As somebody who's raced the Bristol night race on iRacing several times in the last few years, I can tell you those tires go away very, very quickly, especially on the Xfinity car. Those things just can burn up. So maintaining the pace, what is Adam Benefiel doing right now? You know, he's not running the fastest lap times. He's just preserving the tires, as we see Coulter go. He had a little bit of a moment there off of turn number 2. That was close to being a disaster.
Yeah, it's one of these moments at Bristol. They all happen, and they'll all go through them at some point today. Still 24 laps to go until the first stage. This is a nice long green flag run here after 2 cautions inside the first 15 laps. We've had a nice run of nearly 30 now, but it will come to an end at some point with cautions after stage breaks. It does interrupt the rhythm of the race just a little bit, but that's what's going to happen as Weiler gets to the outside of Hicksonville for 6th.
And Wineland moves into that 6th spot, getting in front of the points championship leader. And right now, he is looking to have a good night because he would like to be in that round of 8, and he's only sent 1 point to the good coming into tonight's race. And now Blake Coultre currently in 7th, getting by Bryson Hicksonville. You got to wonder if Bryson's tires are starting to fade away a little bit as he starts to fall through the pack here. Of course, he is the guy that everybody would like to beat this season, but he's got a big points lead, so he's not gonna have very much trouble moving into the round of 8 unless something disaster happens. Really, he should be an instant lock based on all the calculations out there. Cameron Stone as well, he's currently in 12th, the 57 machine, as we're still seeing the battle on your screen now. The 87 of Eric Wineland, he's now moving up into 5th, taking that high side, and now Eric Wineland officially into the top 5, and he's trying to bring Blake Coultre with him in that 6th spot. Now, Kurt Mills, again, probably another tire issue as we see Bryson Hicksonbod falling down to 10th. So a lot of these guys, who we thought maybe fast runners, starting to fall down.
Yeah, especially Hicksonbod, who actually, I thought the reason why he was hanging around in about 5th place for most of the first part of this race, because he was going to do what he did last week, which was sort of hang around in 3rd place and then strike and get a couple of stages. I think he won both stages last week, actually. Certainly won one of them. And he's not doing that again. He is going backwards here. There goes Jerry Beck around the outside in 95. Not sure whether Hicksonbod has decided, well, I don't really need these stage points, so I'm not going to get caught up in the group for the points themselves, but it would be a strange call for a driver who's not let anything pass so far this season, and he's just been going for everything. He's got 67 bonus points so far this season as a result of all of the stages and whatever that he's been accumulating, so that's more than anybody, you won't be surprised to learn, and surprising that he's now hanging around at the back.
Well, let's go ahead, let's check an onboard of the points championship leader of Bryson Hicksonbod. I want to just see if maybe he's just struggling a little bit here. Let's see, he goes down into the corner. Yeah, he's not even getting down to the apex. That's definitely a tire issue there. Those tires are probably starting to scream, yell, and complain that they are hurting bad here on lap 57 as we start to wind down the stage. Again, the stage break coming out on lap number 85. And you can see he's getting down on the throttle, and he's going to make his way around the 69 of Kurt Mills, who has also been falling back. And you got to wonder if it's the same issue for Kurt Mills as he's being hung out to dry on the outside.
It is a long first run, so it's entirely possible that on the long run, Kurt Mills has not got quite such a good car. And you forgive these guys for setting up their cars for short runs on this race tonight at Bristol, because it is a short run kind of circuit, but we're not far away from the first quarter of this race being clipped off very quickly, although Hastings goes down the field. Didn't see him in that camera shot there, which suggests that he is off the road, or has he just disappeared completely? He's just disconnected. That is the problem for Hastings. That is a real shame for Brandon Hastings. He's not a playoff driver, but that'd be a real shame for him. Just his 7th start this season, but he was running really well, and if he's disappeared for good, that is a real shame.
That would be a real shame for him. He was running quite well, as now Cameron Stone sees himself into the 11th spot, trying to gain as much as he can here as we continue to monitor the 67 machine. Excuse me, that's the 87. I didn't quite see that. That's Eric Wineland, who I would say probably preserved his tires for this last late stage run here on lap 63. So lap starting again to wind down. We're almost 20 to go in the stage and 20 laps on a half-mile oval course like Bristol Motor Speedway goes fairly quick. And the 4, wow, he was way up there. That was Blake Coultre again. he was way up there by the wall, but you're seeing, guys, they're starting to move around again as Jim Schofield has now moved into second. Eric Whiteland moves into third here on lap number 64.
Padgett's going backwards quickly in the O2, and there's contact with Raymond Root, I think that is, in 91, into the corner. That was really tight between those two, and how they got away with it, not really sure. In the background, Kluat and Beck are going to close in on this. Nearly 3 wide again. Padgett has certainly gone out too hard, and again, there seems to be a number of drivers who either have gone too hard on these tyres too early, or they have set up their cars for short runs and are seeing a very long run at the moment start to undo them.
Oh, and there goes, excuse me, I just lost him. He was riding the wall there for just a brief moment, and he continues to lose spots here. And just when you think he may have had the pace, he is currently just way far back. Mark Paget currently running 7th and is now being challenged by Hunter Trell, who is a playoff driver, currently sitting in the 6th spot. So he's looking for some good stage points to grow a little bit of a gap to get into that round of 8. But again, anything can happen here at Bristol. Fenders and tempers can come alive here around the last Coliseum in the United States. And there is Raymond Root. Now he is starting to line himself up here. Raymond Root, the 91 machine. He's going to get around the 47. He's a lap down, or a few laps down, I should say. There's not.
That's Schofield. That's in third place of Wineland, just in front of the side. He's making it 3 wide. Oh my word! Raymond Root is making it 3 wide on the inside. Lap car 03. Contact.
Oh, and he's
finally. Schofield goes around.
Caution out on the speedway here. Jim Schofield getting absolutely sideways. He got a little bit of a pick from a lap car of Austin. That was Austin Evie that was in front of him as they tried to go 3 wide, and Schofield was the man who drew the short end of the stick, and that's unfortunate because he was running very well, running 4th, and now he has fallen back down to 10th. And man, that was very close. That could have been very much of a disaster as we get a replay of what happened here. There's the aerial view. They're 3 wide. There's Austin Evie, who's currently, and got the fender and everything. And for Schofield, and he got T-boned as well by the 71. Oh,
that's true. Who's 6th place in the playoffs, but if you take the 2 who are actually not here tonight, effectively 4th in the playoffs, really, that's going to be damage for Trull, you'd imagine, but he's going to carry on. Hunter Trull decides not to come in. Noah Woods and Lucas Heitzmer, the only drivers from the lead lap coming in. Oh no, Trull's in himself, so I guess was just waiting for his pit box. Into the pit lane, only drivers to do so. Lots of them staying out though, because there's only 10 laps to the stage.
Yeah, at this point, you can either flip the stage or not flip the stage. And really, if you're going to flip the stage, you would have to come with 3 laps to go, but I don't see anybody doing that. So, oh man, what an exciting green flag run we saw there. Some 3 wide action, some guys losing their tires and going back down through the field here. So some interesting things we have seen here in the first quarter of the race.
Very much so. And I think it's a good call coming in for tyres, by the way, in this caution. Noah Wood seems to be the only driver who's taken on a proper long stop there, and he's at the back of the field. I reckon Heitzman and Steve Benjamin, the other drivers to come in, probably did take tyres as well. So they're going to be really fast. I don't know about you, but maybe 10 laps is not long enough, but those cars are going to be a lot faster than the guys on old tyres, considering the way this circuit gets through tyres. So yeah, there could be ones to watch in the final 10 laps of this stage. That'll be how much we've got left when we go green.
Well, everybody now starting to get double filed up here. Pace car lights are out. That indicates to the drivers it is time to go back racing here with just 10 laps to go in stage number 1 here. Your race leader, who's been out in front since the drop of the green flag, Adam Benefill, he is ready to go again. He's been driving very cleanly, no mistakes so far, been keeping those tires living pretty much at this point. Here we go, green flag will fly and away we go once again around Bristol Motor Speedway here on Friday Night Lights. And you can see everybody again jockeying for position. Adam Benefield takes off from the race lead. The top four now single file into turns 1 and 2 here. And excuse me, that was 3 and 4. I get confused here at Bristol Motor Speedway because of just how weird these corners can get. But you can see the 87 of Eric Weiland. He would love to get a stage win here, but getting second place is nothing to be disappointed about here, as now we will start lap number 78 here of the 85 for stage number 1. But Wineland's got a gaggle of cars right behind him, as we now again have a caution out on the speedway.
It's quite big on the backstretch. I think it was quite a lot of cars involved. 03 I can see involved. 27 I think is involved as well. Tim Phillips has actually done the most miles of anyone this season, but that's in danger tonight if he's out early at Bristol. And here comes the 95 into pit lane as well. Is that 95? Yeah, Joey Beck. What I got. So decides to come in just a few laps short of the stage break. This is going to be a very short dash for the stage points after this.
Oh, it's going to be very interesting. If you're Adam Benefield, you're going, oh no, not again. Let's get a replay of what has happened earlier on. It's the 42 machine hard into the wall. And let's just see what exactly happened. The 69 cuts down. Nothing too terrible at this point down the front straightaway. Oh,
wow.
That was massive. Oh. And the 47, a playoff driver.
Yep, Jim Schofield.
Yeah, Schofield and
got help.
Oh, and he got hooked. That was, well, a little bit of net code.
Goodness me.
That was big one. And for Schofield, that has got to feel really bad considering you were just involved in the last incident. Got cars on top of cars. Oh, Bristol Motor Speedway, you bring out those big, hefty crashes when you can. It didn't look like initially on that first replay it was anything too terrible, and then we saw what exactly happened. And boy, was it a big one there.
Well, that is playoff contenders. With long repairs. Daniel Llewellyn is also down there as a playoff driver getting long repairs. Jim Schofield as well. Hunter Trull still missing from that previous caution, by the way. He's now 6 laps down in 71. We've seen a lot of playoff drivers already in trouble here tonight, and we've only got 13 left on the lead lap, even inside the first stage. That is just how chaotic these races at Bristol can be.
Well, here we go. Pace car lights are off once again, and it will be a mad dash. We're going to go green on lap 83 of 85 for stage 1. And that is, well, I don't know. Hold on to your seats, ladies and gentlemen, because we are going to be in for a show here tonight in this first stage. Field going through turns 3 and 4 now. With Adam Benefield, your race leader, he's looking for that green flag. Pace car pulling off here. And we are ready to go back racing with 3 laps to go. Green flag will fly once again. And away everybody goes side by side through turns 1 and 2 as Adam Benefield once again back out in front. And you can see now the 63 machine of Bryson Hexenbach making his way forward. He was out of the top 10, and now he's in the 4th, battling for 3rd down the inside of the 91 of Raymond Root. Can't quite get it side by side, trying to find the run here as they go down the back straightaway here on lap 84. White flag for the final lap of stage number 1 on the way here. And this is where it gets interesting. You got a couple guys behind Hexenbach who would love to get some extra stage points as well, but Hexenbach, he's doing his best here. And here comes Adam Benefield now, going through turns 3 and 4 to win stage number 1. Adam Benefield wins. Eric Wineland finishes in second. Raymond Root third. Bryson Hixenbaugh in fourth. Lucas Hoytsma, who was not even in the top 10. About halfway through the stage, finishes in sixth. Blake Colt in sixth, the 57 of Cameron Stone at seventh. Connor Cunningham in eighth. Market Paget, who was running in second, will finish in the ninth spot. And Kurt Mills, who is currently out of the playoff for the round of 8, will come home to that final 10th spot here. And everybody now going to come into the pits and get a couple of tires, some fresh tires here, Ewan.
Yeah, some pit stops for the first time tonight for Benefield, Wineland, Root, Hixenbach, Cloat, Paget as well, getting first pit stop of the day. Kyle Hammond, Stone and Connor Cunningham as well. All of them taking their first pit stop of the night right now. First new set of tyres. And you'd imagine that everybody is going to take one of their 3 tyre changes right now. Strategy, I think, was a little bit open at Gateway in terms of actually making something different work compared to what you'd normally expect. But tonight, I think it's very simple. You've got to take the tyres on both of the stage brakes, and this is the first of them, so Benefield does exactly that. Gets that in front of Wineland. The only two to stay out, though, Lucas Hoytsma and Joey Beck, who will be on the front row together at the start of stage 2. As you say, Hoytsma, one of those who came in previously, maybe using those fresher tyres, because he came out outside of the top 10 to suddenly inside of it, and that's going to be a whole load of points and a good gain of points for him. Not many playoff drivers scored there, but those who did will move themselves into the top 8.
Yeah, that was definitely some good strategy calls there from Lucas Hoytsma, because again, he's only plus 4 points to the good. So coming into tonight's race, getting some extra separation, especially with all the incidences that have been happening with the rest of the playoff drivers.
Yeah, exactly. And if to very simply do it, it's about plus 10 now, you'd say, about, but obviously it doesn't quite work like that. Austin Ivy wouldn't have scored any points there, neither will Llewellyn. Try to find out where Llewellyn is actually, whether he's got himself back out onto the circuit again after no, he hasn't yet. Still 5.5 minutes in pit lane for the 07. Jim Schofield still in pit lane, so is Austin Ivy. These are long stops for some of these guys, but they've got to come back out again. They've got to come back out and try and score points whenever they can. So expect to see some battered cars running around there later.
Well, especially when we have 2 drivers missing in the playoffs, Charles Velasquez Jr., who is not here tonight, and who else wasn't here, you said?
McWhorter, Joseph McWhorter.
Oh, that's going to be pit time points. So that means there could be possibly 1 to 2 spots that are going to be up for grabs for the round of 8, with how close the championship is right now from third on backwards. So here we go, back green flag racing once again with Lucas Hoytsma, now your race leader, with Joey Beck in second. Adam Benefield, who's restarted in third. Everybody getting back down to the bottom of the racetrack. And you got to wonder if some guys maybe learned some stuff about their cars and thought, maybe if we get a nice long run like we did in the previous stage, let's just back it up a little bit. Let's not put so much wear on the tires and be in a difficult position in the middle of the stint, as we saw Joey Beck smack the wall there. Able to keep it going, though, as Bryson Hixenbaugh on the screen now in the 63 machine. He restarted in 5th.
Absolutely. You might be wondering why Lucas Hoytsma and Joey Beck aren't in more trouble as they restart here on the older tyres, but they didn't actually pit that long ago. At the end of the very long green flag run, Hoytsma came in, Lucas Hoytsma, and at the end of the very short green flag run after that, so the last caution before the stage caution, Joey Beck decided to come in. I think that was a very good call, actually, from Hoytsma. I think was probably the best call to come in after that really long run. You know that your first set of tyres has been through quite a long run there. You're not going to get too much more out of them. And in the end, he did actually get some more stage points, but the place he was in, he wasn't going to get any staying out on those old tyres, so decided to make the bold call. And I think it's worked, although this is very early on. If this stage goes 80-odd laps, then he might be in a bit more trouble.
Well, Eric Wineland now, the 87 car, he is snipping the back bumper of Adam Benefield and giving him kind of almost a push, it seemed like, down the back straightaway. I mean, he's pretty much snipping the exhaust fumes out of the tailpipe of the 83 car, now trying to find that run, trying to go down the inside this time. Benefield will leave the door open, and Benefield will just gladly give that position away. I think Benefield learned something in that last stage, going, hey, I don't need to put a lot of pressure on these tires again, and he's right now 38 to the good, so he really doesn't necessarily have to win this race to get locked in to the round of 8. He's pretty much locked in now, as we only had 32 starters here tonight on Friday Night Lights. And there's Austin Evie in the 03 car, as he is currently he's just out there at this point. He is hoping for something to happen, but he's only a lap down right now, so he is in that lucky dog position.
No, he's only one lap down on the guy in front of him. Yeah, it's an interval. He's 13 laps down on the overall field. I mean, the amount of cautions we're going to get, it's not impossible he can gain some of those back. But the most important thing, actually, for Evie is that Daniel Lewanen and Jim Schofield are still on pit lane right now getting repairs. As and there's contact! Root goes around. Raymond Root on the backstretch.
That will bring out a caution here on lap 102. And those two came together on the exit of turn number, I want to say that was turn 2 if I was looking at that correctly. And Raymond Root. Oh, what an unfortunate time for that caution.
Yeah, we had a 50% chance there, but we got it wrong. It was terrible. Anyway, yeah, I mean, unfortunate, but you know, Root has driven well so far in this race. Kirk Mills decides to come into pit lane. Don't get long to wait until the pit lane opens. Not much chance to build it up, but anyway, Kirk Mills is the only one to come into pit lane. Even despite that big spin, Raymond Root decides that his tyres will be fine. Connor Cunningham and Kyle Ammon, the only other drivers on the lead lap to make their way in. And Alex Coffey will get onto the lead lap, the only driver one lap down, so we'll have 15 now on the lead lap after that.
Oh man, Bristol strikes again here. And let's take a look and see what has happened here with Raymond Root, as he was going side by side with Mark Paget, and seemed pretty clean so far. They come out of the corner, and there it goes.
So it was Cameron Stone. It was Paget who just slipped by there in the 02. Cameron Stone in the 57, who comes to a pretty much dead stop, and he's lucky he didn't get smacked there by someone. He was pretty much stopped on the back straight as everybody was just trying to squeeze through. They were already 2 and 3 wide on the back straight anyway, and they just about squeaked through. And now look at them, they're nose to tail for this restart as well.
This is going to get real interesting, because again, it's benders and tempers around Bristol Motor Speedway, as we will get the field reorganized, lined up, and ready to go back racing once again. Now this stage will end on lap number 170. So I'm not even going to try and do the math in my head. I'm
65.
From the public education. Thank you, Ewan. Thank you. So it's a lot shorter stage. That's the American public education system for you. But lap 105. So we made it quite a few laps without a caution there, and now it's going to get real interesting to see what happens. There goes the pace car lights. Everybody will line back up. Lucas Hoytsma be back out on the pole. He decides the outside line this time. So the choose determining that, and Joey Beck on that inside. Kind of interesting here. Adam Benefield takes he's in 4th, so he will of course be on the outside, and the guy who was battling with earlier, Mark Paget, also on that outside line. So these 3 cars, that outside line looking really strong, but you got to keep an eye on that 63 machine. Here we go, green flag will fly, and away we go here on Friday Night Lights here on Maconi Entertainment. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and appreciate all your support here at Maconi Entertainment. You can go to MaconiEntertainment.com for event organization and services, live broadcasts, and everything in between. Lucas Hoytsma out in front once again off the drop of the green flag, with Adam Benefield, he actually did not get a great restart as he is still in fourth. And Joey Beck doing a great job. Now he has to defend from Eric Wineland, who has been really strong so far in this race. We've seen him just move up the field. He was outside of the top 10 at stage 1 and then drove his way forward to get into the top 3, Ewan.
Yeah, a really good drive. Really good drive in this sort of second third of the race, the middle third of the race. It's exactly where you need to be, just hanging around at the front. You're less likely to get involved in these accidents like what we saw for Raymond Root and Cameron Stone earlier on. They were in the midfield, and that's where the danger is. But Eric Wineland's looking for second. He doesn't want to just settle here. He's using his fresher tyres compared to the two in front of Joey Beck and Lucas Hoitzma, and he's certainly looking to the inside as well. There goes Joey Beck, though, looking to the inside himself on Lucas Hoitzma.
Well, and you can see the gap now between Benefield and Wineland in this top 3 group here. These guys are going at it hard here on lap 112 of 170 here in stage number 2. And now Lucas Hoitzma, he's seen that battle in his back mirror, and he's going, hey, get me out of here. I want to get some space and let these guys fight this out. A little bit of a fender, I think, used there by Eric Wineland as he now moves into second.
Very nice pass, and you'd expect him to be able to do this now. Joey Beck saw it coming because you could see the way he was trying to overtake Hoitzma. He was just trying to put some distance between himself and the 87, wasn't able to do that, and now 97 is going to be under big pressure now.
Well, here we go. Wineland trying to line up a move for the race lead here. He's getting to that back bumper, uses the fender just a little bit there, but doesn't quite move Lucas Hoitzma out of the way here. And once again, Eric Wineland doing everything he can to try and set up a move. Here they go into 1 and 2 again. Can't quite get the fender to Hoitzma, and Hoitzma just kind of holding on for dear life at this point. The move is inevitable, and Wineland, he knows he's the faster car of these 3. And Wineland now looking down the inside, and Lucas Hoitzma will open up the door and just say, you know what, I don't want to battle this any further. I want to keep these tires as long as I can to get down the back to a reasonable pit stop so we can have fresher tires for the end of the stage. And now Eric Wineland is your official race leader here on lap number 118.
And a solid drive to the front as well for Wineland. And he's just 1 point above the cut line into tonight, as we've been speaking about, but a couple of good stage points pickups could be really helpful to just nudge his nose above that cut line. And a win, of course, would get him straight into the round of 8 tonight. Long way to go from Bristol, but with over half this race remaining. However, that would be a long way to getting into the round of 8 here, as Hoitzma and Beck are left to fight for second behind. Here goes Joey Beck.
Beck down the inside, thinks about the slide jump, nope, stays on the bottom, and Joey Beck will move into second. Here on lap 121, Lucas Hoitzma's now dropped 2 positions in just a matter of a few laps. And here we go. Adam Benefield, he's been watching this. You gotta wonder what he's thinking. You know, he's probably preserving those tires. You know, this stage is not nearly as long as the first stage. And Bryson Hixenbaugh, he's in the top 5 now with Raymond Root after his earlier spin. In the 6th spot right now, directly behind Bryson Hixenbaugh, excuse me. And now we see a battle for the 5th spot on the screen now. Bryson Hixenbaugh, Raymond Root, and Mark Paget. Paget was actually running second until he burned the tires up and went backwards fairly quickly. And you can see Raymond Root, he's trying to actually move around a little bit here. Thinks maybe that outside line is going to be more beneficial. Now he's side by side. Can he get around? Yes, he can. And Raymond Root moves into 5th. Caution out on the speedway. What has happened here?
He just had his nose in front there, Root, at the right moment. So gets the place. I wonder whether that 81 of Brandon Hastings had anything to do with this caution. He's the only driver at the moment down pit lane who is likely to get back in this race. It looks like Llewellyn and Schofield are either having very long repairs or they are out of this race for good. But they're a long way back now.
Well, let's see. We'll see if we got a replay of what has brought out the caution. and it must have been just like a spin or something, because it didn't, I'm not seeing anybody moving up and down and on the time board, or, I don't see anything, really anybody out of place here. But for Bryce Rainier, it was only a lap down here. He's the lucky dog, so he will be able to get back on the lead lap, currently sitting in the 16th position.
He's 2 laps down at the moment, so he'll get himself to the right position to be on the lead lap next time round. You'd imagine there will be another caution very soon, so surely that's going to be in a moment. This is the moment the caution came out. Must have just come out at the right moment for Root, because they were absolutely locked into the battle, and by no means did Root have the position for sure. He was, it was pretty close really between himself and Hixenbot, but he just had his nose ahead at the right time. We're searching for the caution, can't seem to find anyone out of place, so make a will of that.
On Bristol, with iRacing in Bristol, all it takes is really just somebody get inside. And it might not register. Oh, there it is. Okay, found it. Oh, bang. All right, so the 37 of Kevin Zozak involved, and I can't quite tell the number of that other car, but that's what brought out the caution here, and that is the 52 machine of Alex Kofi.
Yeah, so Kofi just got the lucky dog to get back on the lead lap a few cautions ago. Might have even been last caution actually, but is now back on the lead lap again. Off the lead lap again with a long repair. Just goes 1 lap down after 1:14 in the pit lane. A few cars will get waved around. It looks like we're going double file again to go back green at the end of lap 129. 41 to go until the second stage end.
Well, here we go once again, and Eric Wineland is your race leader with Joey Beck on his outside. Lucas Hoytsma, who was leading here in stage number 2, has fallen back to 3rd. And Adam Benefiel, who's just been maintaining that 4th spot, and nobody's really challenged him so far. Here they come off of 4. Green flag will fly, and away we go once again around Bristol Motor Speedway. Good launch for Eric Wineland, but he's being challenged by Joey Beck as they go down the back straightaway. And there's Benefiel. He is going to be challenged here by Hixenbot as well, as Hixenbot trying to pick up the pace a little bit here, with love to stay in front of Benefiel. Those two are really the top 2 championship contenders here at FLCC on Friday Night Lights. And you can just see now everybody going single file, taking that bottom side once again, and keep an eye on it. All right, so you saw Benefiel, Hixenbot, a whole load of cars really get down pretty much almost to where that yellow line is. Now, as this run progresses, guys are going to have to probably move up, or you're going to see guys with tire issues not quite get down to the bottom of the racetrack because their cars just can't turn. And that's going to be a real issue, I think, as we continue on here. And for some guys like Lucas Hoytsma, who did not take tires at the stage break, I think we're going to see him here in a little bit, as we saw somebody, I think that was Joey Beck, who was riding the wall a little bit, as we saw a little dust up there down the back straightaway. But Eric Wineland, very comfortable out in front here with Joey Beck in 2nd, Lucas Hoytsma in 3rd, Adam Benefiel in 4th, and we got a battle behind with Bryson Hixenbot, Raymond Root, and Cameron Stone. Cameron Stone, the 57 car, who has had his fair, I would say, not a great run, but the fact that he's even in the top 10, and it's quite a story.
It shows that he's gotten through his problems tonight. Contact with Raymond Root, I think he was earlier, wasn't it? They're back together again now. The last time they were nose to tail like this, Stone spun Root, but that's not the reason for this caution. Latest one out there on the racetrack on lap 137.
Well. Bristol strikes again here in front of a and we're being told it's possibly Brandon Hastings, so we will get a replay of what happened here. And there he is. Oh, well, he was involved, but he continued on. Yeah, Bryce Rayner is having a tough night out there tonight, I think.
Yeah, well, Rayner hit 53, so Steve Benjamin very nearly went all the way around. Rayner pulled it back in again and then got spun around for his efforts. He was in the battle for the lucky dog with Alex Coffey, who is now back on the lead lap again in 52 after losing it in that previous caution.
So is the battle for the lucky dog, is that just going to be a caution fest, or what are we going to see there, Ewan?
Well, I guess it's going to be a recurring theme tonight. The amount of drivers who are going to sort of flick between on the lead lap and not is going to continue on. I think if the race gets more caution heavy later on, there is a chance for even guys like Steve Benjamin, who's 4 laps down the motor, or Tim Phillips maybe, although he's 9 laps down, so that'd be quite a lot of cautions for him to get back on the lead lap. But certainly there's going to be some drivers dipping off the lead lap and then back on again. I mean, we've just seen it for Alex Coffey there. He's lost a lap and regained it again in the space of 20 laps there. So that's really going to be, I think, a theme of what happens over the course of tonight.
Well, another caution has bestowed us here at Bristol Motor Speedway, and for those guys who are on those older tires, they're actually going, thank you, thank you, thank you, because that will just push their pit stop even further, and possibly a good starting spot for stage number 3. And really, if we get another caution or two, those guys on the older tires, they could probably make it to lap 170 and pit with the field, which would be even a better starting spot for guys like Joey Beck and Lucas Hoytsma, who are still running on very old tires at this point.
Yeah, I mean, they're older than those around them, that's for sure. But, I think compared to the others, they're not actually too bad. You've got to remember that those who pitted under the caution have got 54 laps at the end of this one on their tyres. Yes, a lot of caution involved in that, but there will be for those who pitted earlier than them as well. So, comparatively, I think they'll be okay. But let's see in the next 30 laps of this second stage.
Well, here we go. Pace car is off. Field going through 3 and 4 now. Green flag will fly, and away we go once again. And you can see great restart this time by Eric Wineland, not allowing Joey Beck to stay on his outside. So a good launch there. Now here comes Adam Benefield. He's trying to go to the outside of the 97 of Lucas Hoytsma. Hoytsma trying to fight back, but Benefield is there, and he takes that 3rd spot away. And here comes Hixenbaugh now. Hixenbaugh currently in the top 5. He's going around the outside this time, but can't quite make the move stick. Gets down on the throttle, and Hixenbaugh will get by Hoytsma, who now falls down to 5th. So those tires for Hoytsma must not be firing off as much as he would like. He's only 71 laps on those tires, so he is struggling here at this point, and he still has quite a few laps to go here around Bristol Motor Speedway, as now everybody's starting to single file out.
Yeah, other than Adam Benefield, it seems, who's looking to really make the moves. Look at him get into the bumper of Joey Beck. Oh, and he got loose there, really loose there. And now Hixenbaugh's going to get to his outside, not quite far enough alongside, coming into 1 and 2 that time. But Adam Benefield wants to get past Joey Beck. He wants to dispatch of these guys on older tyres and chase down Eric Wineland with the second stage points on the horizon. He wants to get past Joey Beck, and he's becoming more aggressive in trying to make this move.
This is going to get interesting here very, very quickly. Lap 147 of 170 to go here in the second stage here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Benefield smelling the exhaust fumes as they come down the front straightaway. Will he put the fender again? Not quite close enough this time. But you can see Benefield, he is being patient, but also impatient at the same time. He would love to get around for the 2nd spot and end this stage on a high note, because he knows he's the fastest guy on the racetrack, with Eric Wineland leading the way here. But you can see Joey Beck, he's also picked up the pace a little bit as they start to close the gap on Wineland, but now here comes Benefield trying to go down the inside, but now Joey Beck holds on to the outside and defends the position, does not allow Benefield through. And oh my, this is getting interesting now as we're at lap 151. 19 laps to go here in stage number 2.
A great run around the outside. Now Benefield wants to replicate that. He wants to go to the outside. Does he get the room? Not quite. Beck shuts the door on him. Wow, this is fantastic racing between these two. And Wineland's lapping this up. I think he's deciding not to drive away from these guys. I think at the moment he wants to just conserve those tyres and he'll start to push on. When Benefield gets past, it looks like that moment's fast approaching here.
Benefield going around the outside into 3 and 4 here at the last great Coliseum. And scraping the wall on the back straightaway is Adam Benefield. Benefield, though, doesn't lose any momentum, doesn't lose any time, and he takes second away here from Eric Wineland, or excuse me, from Joey Beck. And now his sights is set on Eric Wineland as again Beck into the wall again. That's twice in just a lap here at Bristol Motor Speedway as those tires are gone. You gotta say, he's pushing way too hard on those tires and he does not quite know what to do at this point. He is pretty much a sitting duck as we go farther back here as the 57 of Cameron Stone trying to go down the inside of the 78 of Connor Cunningham as they go down the front straightaway. Also in front of them is Mark Paget and also Lucas Hoytsma. Lucas Hoytsma is pretty much holding up this pack of cars as he is on pretty much old tires at this point. And Hoytsma, he's not having a good time out there, I would say, right now, as he's on 84 lap old tires. As now he's got somebody on his inside. That's Connor Cunningham this time. Cunningham holding it strong around the bottom of the racetrack, and he can't quite make the move stick as Hoytsma holding onto that outside line, beautifully defending here away from this gaggle of cars who are saying, hey, get out of the way, buddy.
Yeah, it looks like the sort of limit, if you like, 70 to 75 laps or so seems to be the limit for these tyres before they really start to fall off compared to those around, but it's not massively easy to overtake around here. Here goes Cameron Stone to the outside now of Lucas Hoytsma, and if one goes through, the floodgates could open for car 97. There goes Stone right around the outside, and actually Hoytsma does a very good job at getting back into line again, because as I say, that could really open the floodgates if you get that wrong. 10 to go then until the stage on lap 170.
Oh man, Lucas Hoytsma's got to be kicking himself at this point because he knows these guys are coming after him. And now here comes Blake Coulter, who has now moved into the 8th spot. He's targeting Hoytsma, but Hoytsma getting a little bit of a breathing gap here between him and this gaggle of cars behind him that he's got to feel more comfortable. But now guys are trying to go up high, but they're sliding around because of the marbles that have made their way up to the top of the racetrack here. Lap 162, 8 laps now to go in stage number 2, and things are spicy up here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a fender or two coming on the way of Lucas Hoytsma, but no, instead here comes Blake Coulter, who's going around the outside, down the back straightaway this time, trying to use the momentum through 3 and 4 to try and get by. And this time he does have a nose, a half a car, and now is a full car out in front of Lucas Hoytsma.
It looks like this outside line's really coming in now as this race is going on. The lights are coming on. The sun has very much gone down now, and the outside line is starting to become a real factor here tonight. Here comes the 4 car on another lap car there. That's going rather slowly on the outside line. Still 14 on the lead lap, by the way, as Kyle Hammond on this run has gone a lap down, and Alex Coffey is not too far away from going a lap down as well. 5 to go until the end of this second stage. Now Eric Wineland looking to hold on from Benefield and Hixenborn, who are right behind.
And Hoytsma, he is just not having a great time. You can see that 97 car starting to really slow up, and he is having to be on the defense here from now the car 78 of Connor Cunningham, who's sitting in 9th. He would love a couple of extra points in this stage, even though he is not in the playoffs. Hoytsma is, and taking any points from Hoytsma right now might be a key to getting him eliminated from the playoffs. Again, there will be 1, possibly 2 extra spots available in that round of 8 due to 2 drivers not here tonight. Joseph. McWhorter and Charles Velasquez Jr. Those two drivers very close to the cut line as well, as we are now one more time around Bristol Motor Speedway here in stage number 2. And Eric Wineland taking the middle of the racetrack where there can be quite a bit of grip, but he will cross the start-finish line and he will win stage number 2 here. And Adam Benefiel will finish in second. Bryson Hixenbaugh looking like he's going to finish in third. Excuse me, this is the white flag. My apologies. And either way, Eric Wineland will win the stage. And Benefiel in second, Bryson Hixenbaugh in third. Raymond Root, a good fourth place finish in stage number 2, with Cameron Stone in the top 5. Joey Beck in 6th, Blake Coulter in 7th, Lucas Hoytsma in 8th, Connor Cunningham 9th, and Mark Paget rounds out the top 10. So those are your points finishers there. But Eric Wineland, your stage 2 winner, and he's coming right into the pits immediately.
Yeah, you don't get to wait very long to come into pit lane at this venue. You come just straight in, and Wineland leads them on, all of them onto pit lane. No debate this time round. Even Beck and Hoytsma are into pit lane. Nobody even trying to stay out there at the moment. So Wineland will lead them into pit lane. It's a very important stage win for him there. But other drivers picking up more points for the likes of Stone. It's good that he's been able to do it twice, but not too many playoff drivers in the top 10 that time round, really, apart from those who are in the top 5, as we saw. Should be 4 tyres all round, and then that just leaves one set for everybody to use throughout this final stage of 130 laps.
And we will most likely, due to these green flag runs, we're probably going to see some green flag pit stops here, Ewan.
Well, if we have runs like we just saw, then yes, we will see green flag runs. But to be honest with you, I can't see these final 130 laps being taken on all under green flag racing. If we do, then maybe. But this is going to be a lot more cautions to the end, because the tension is going to be heightened here. I mean, you know, that was a pretty close end to that stage. But if that's the end for the end of the race, then Benefield's going to be a lot more aggressive trying to make that pass.
Well, we'll line the field back up. Nobody's staying out this time. And that is going to put Eric Wineland back out in front with Adam Benefiel right next to him. Bryson Hixenbaugh, who will restart in 3rd. Raymond Root will restart in 4th. 5th will be Cameron Stone. Joey Beck in 6th place. Blake Clocher in the 7th spot. 8th will go to Connor Cunningham. Mark Paget in 9th, and Brandon Mayfield had a great pit stop. He moves into that 10th spot.
Yeah, it's been a good sort of run to the end of that stage, but yeah, let's see how they get on for this final stage of the day. You know, what we're going to have. It's actually going to be 125, I suppose, isn't it, when they actually go back to green flag racing. But thoroughly enjoyed that last run, by the way. You know, the stop-start racing at Bristol can get quite tiresome, really. But I think that last run showed that when you actually start to race properly, and there's actually a long green flag run, it's very entertaining from this track.
Well, here we go. Pace car lights are out. We're ready to go racing in the final stage here at Bristol Motor Speedway in the round of 12. Pace car is off field through turn number 4. We are green. And a good restart there by Eric Wineland as he gets out in front. Bryson Hixenbaugh gets blocked by Adam Benefiel, who goes right to the bottom of the racetrack here. And now here comes the 81 of Raymond Root. He would love to get a race win tonight. He's not in the playoffs, but he can shake some things up here tonight as he takes the outside line of the racetrack, already around Hixenbaugh. Hixenbaugh falling down to 4th, and now Raymond Root trying to get around Adam Benefiel for 2nd. And Raymond Root, who started in 4th, has now moved himself into 2nd off the restart.
Yeah, very good restart for Raymond Root. You just worry, though, that everybody else, the reason why they're being overtaken at such a rate and Root is getting past them, I worry a little bit that that's because he's going out a lot harder on his tyres. If this is a long green flag run, he might well pay for that later, but not worried about that right now. Fastest lap of the race, 15.4 for Raymond Root, and he looks for the lead.
And here they go side by side as they come through 3 and 4. Here goes Raymond Root's just got a nose out in front. Now his full car is out in front as Raymond Root becomes a new race leader. But here comes Eric Weiland. He's fighting back down the back straightaway. And Weiland, he's going, not today. I'm not going anywhere. You're going to have to battle with me to win this race as they have now put on a gap to Adam Benefiel. Benefiel is currently sitting in third, but he has nothing to worry about. He's already into the round of 8 here tonight.
Don't forget as well that if a non-playoff driver wins tonight, nobody's locked into the playoffs after week 1. They go to Kansas with nobody guaranteed in the round of 8 from the playoffs. So Raymond Root taking this lead right now is taking opportunities away from those around, especially for Wineland, who would really like a win in your in, because he's only 1 point above the cut line at the start of this round of 12, and if he could just make this round a little bit easier for himself, then he'd very much like to. But Root has gone off massively quickly out of the blocks here in this final stage, and you just worry for him that it doesn't come back to bite him later on.
Well, here we go, lap 117, almost 118 as we completed halfway through the lap quickly. Raymond Root really putting on the gap here away from Eric Weiland. The gap 0.7 of a second, and right now Raymond Root, you got to wonder if those tires are going to start yelling at him here in 20 laps time.
Well, this is a remarkable opening run on this final stage from Raymond Root. Nearly a second now the gap. The real battle for third place on back, and I think this is amongst drivers who are actually taking a bit better care of their tyres. We saw this from Benefiel and Hixenberg in that second stage, especially the one that had maybe a little bit more green flag racing towards the end of it compared to the first stage. They hung back and then they very nearly took the stage win away right at the end, and you just wonder whether they're going to do that again here at the end of the race itself.
Well, here we go. Again, still single file throughout the field here as they take the bottom of the racetrack. And like you mentioned there, Ewan, you gotta give props to Benefiel here. He's not getting stressed or anything. He's not pressing the issue. Same with Hixenbaugh. These guys know this is a really long, great, possibly green flag run on the way here. And of course, if we start getting cautions here at Bristol, well, cautions breed cautions, and that will only hurt their chances for possibly winning this race, because that's a lot less tire wear on Raymond Root's tires. And now we got a lap car in the way, and field will just dispatch of him very, very quickly here. Oh, that was close. That could have been a caution. Oh, that was man. Close.
Yeah, and it would have been a lot caught up in that, by the way, as well. This is the danger of these big groups, isn't it? When you're running in the midfield, it's a big, big bit of danger if you're in these groups, because one guy in front of you gets it wrong and you could be involved in a crash that's not really any of your fault.
Well, Raymond Root's already put 1.2 seconds on the field, which is the largest gap we have seen somebody here tonight at Bristol Motor Speedway take from the lead here. And you gotta wonder, he's putting in some awfully fast lap times here compared to the field of 15.83 last time by, and the rest of the field about 18 or 15.9, 15.89, 15.9. So not many guys running as quick. Raymond Root though does put in another fast lap. Does not the quickest, but a 15.81. So he really wants to have a big gap here in this one. But if a caution comes out, that gap gets wiped away. As again, we're still seeing the field single file around the bottom of the racetrack, not pressing the issue here.
Well, yeah, I kind of don't really see the point of this big lead for Raymond Root at the moment, if I'm honest with you. As you say, if a caution comes out, then it will get wiped away completely. If the race stays green flag for a long time, his lead will get wiped away very quickly, and there'll be no caution to save him from the free fall he's going to end up in, because the tyres are going to go off so quickly. We're already half a second nearly off of best lap times here, so there's about a half a second drop off already in just 20 laps of this green flag run, let's say. This goes on another 60 odd. They'll be 2 seconds a lap slower than what they were before, and if the others have managed that better, they're going to be multiple tenths a lap quicker at Bristol, which is not ideal at all. So don't really see the point of racing out to the biggest lead possible, because this race is 300 laps after all, not 200.
Well, and Eric Wineland, who's sitting in second, he's pretty much all by himself right now. He doesn't have anybody directly behind him. He can't quite catch up to Raymond Root, but I think even he went, you know, I probably put a little bit too much stress on my tires trying to battle with Raymond Root, and I probably should back off, save what I can to have a big run at the end. 1.6 second gap, almost 1.6 seconds in front for Raymond Root, as we still look on the battle here between 4 different cars really for the 3rd spot. And really the battle is going from 3rd to 9th, but you can probably discount a couple of those cars on that battle. But you've got Adam Benefield, who's sitting in 3rd right now. He is just driving a nice calm stint right now. That's what you just need to do, as now we're seeing some guys move around the racetrack. And then that was, who was that just lost a bunch of spots? I couldn't quite see. I think that was Connor Cunningham, who lost about 2 spots there, falls back to 9th. Lucas Hoytsma moving back into 7th. And Lucas Hoytsma, who struggled at the end of stage number 2, still in the top 10 here on Friday Night Lights here live on Maconi Entertainment. Hope you're enjoying the show so far. So make sure if you're watching on YouTube, you click that subscribe button, hit the like button as well. If you like this kind of content, I love myself some good oval racing, of course, as the actual Xfinity Series race is just now getting over with here tonight. So, of course, the Cup cars take on the racetrack here tomorrow. So, it should be a great weekend of Bristol racing in real life and in the sim.
Yeah, absolutely. We've caught the real life races quite unusually, actually, in these last couple of weeks. Unfortunately, we were on at the same time 2 weeks ago in the Cup Series, and the week before that we ran side by side with the real life Richmond. We're in pretty much every Saturday for 36 weeks in a row in the full length challenge cup, full length cup challenge. Sorry, and that is on Saturday nights. Normally that's not a problem because races happen on Sunday, but last few weeks we've been catching races on Saturdays. But never mind. I thoroughly enjoy these full length races. I've got to say, despite my accent, I do enjoy oval racing, and I do like the full length nature of this as well. So much more considered race than what you see even in the very top level of oval racing these days on iRacing, which is not even half of the normal Cup Series distance, even less than that these days. Really sprint races. These are proper long and enduring tests for these drivers, and that's I think one of the great things about this series.
Well, from being across the pond here, I got a question for you. Formula One or oval racing? I'm putting you on the spot here.
You presume?
Yes. To watch.
To watch. I would rather, but I don't know. I don't actually get very much time to watch either of them, to be honest, at the moment. Probably, if you had to make me at the moment, I would probably watch oval racing. However, there is nothing, and you know, a lot of motorsport fans I think would agree with me in Europe, even those who like oval racing like me. There's nothing better than a fight for a world championship in Formula One. So, sorry, but that takes it. Even with your manufactured final race in NASCAR, I would rather F1 to be, if there's a championship finale. But if not, then yeah.
Well, there you go. You're going to be on the headlines of Sky Sports F1 for you. Ewan O'Leary has said oval racing is better. That's what they're going to guarantee. All right. Well, kind of let's go through a top 10 recap here. Raymond Root, your race leader, out by 1.7 seconds. Now 1.8. Eric Wineland in second. Adam Benefield in third. Bryson Hixenbaugh in fourth. Joey Beck, who is in fifth, as we're seeing a battle on the screen now between Lucas Hoytsma and Blake Coultry. Right now, seventh. And Coultry in that Ford machine getting by for that seventh spot. Nice run there. And Lucas Hoytsma will drop a position here after gaining one, getting by Connor Cunningham, who has now lost another spot, as Kurt Mills, who's also trying to get into the round of 8, currently sitting 11th, only a point back coming into tonight's race. So And we got 84 laps to go, and so far this no cautions, knock on wood, and everybody sort of driving sort of clean right now.
Yeah, it's great to see as well. Still 21 running at the moment, if we're counting out Alex Coffey, who's been in for the last 3 minutes. Cameron Stone, meanwhile, gets past Bryson Hixenboy, who's been going backwards in these last couple of moments. And here comes Blake Kulatra as well round the outside. This is not a good moment for Hixenboy, but we saw this sort of midway through, was it stage 1, I think, where he was going backwards right to the back end of the top 10. Actually was outside of the top 10 for just a moment in this first stage of the day. He got up there in stage 2, had a better run, but he's going backwards again now, and he loses out down to 7th.
Oh, Hixenboy, what is going on with your car here? Maybe tires, maybe thinking, you know, I maybe need to save a little bit more, as we are reaching 80 laps to go here, and it's gonna be close here. And this is going to be interesting because we're going to be coming up on some pit stops, I would say, here in the next 20 or so laps to split the stage. And if this stays green, those pit stop cycles, it's going to get really interesting, especially if you're kind of confused where your pit box is. It's on the front straight or the back straight, or you're going to see cars pulling off left and right.
Are we going to see that before the next caution? I mean, getting to that stage now where you've got to start thinking about it. I mean, 65 laps would cut this stage in half, this final stage. And you can see up top, we're getting close to 65 to go. I'm not sure anybody's going to come in sort of that early, but we did see earlier as well. After 70 laps, these tyres really do start to fall off, and Heutzmer and Beck showed that earlier on. So you do wonder whether we're going to see some green flag pit stops. I'd be astounded, but you never know. And this run at the moment is certainly creating that possibility.
Well, here we go. Hixenboy, he's going to have to do some more defending here, as he is now fallen down to the 8th spot. And he's got some fast guys behind him. He's got Kurt Mills, Mark Paget, and Connor Cunningham right behind him. And then Lucas Heutzmer, he's also having to defend a little bit here. You got to wonder if these tires are starting to blow off here, as we are now on 75 laps to go here on FLCC Xfinity, here on Friday Night Lights, live on Maconi Entertainment. Adam Benefield has also lost some spots. He's down to 6th, as Joey Beck has moved himself back into 3rd, and the gap for the race lead starting to close down, with Raymond Root now less than a second away from Eric Wineland.
Absolutely. Wineland has run down Root, and that's what I mentioned earlier. If you get a caution, you're going to get paid back anyway. If it stays green, there's no safety net there to save you, and your tyres are going to be really not thanking you for the early 20 laps or so, where he raced out to a big lead. You could see that he was going much harder than the rest of the field. It wasn't that he was just quicker, he was just using more of the tyres. And now Raymond Root's going to pay for that a little bit. Eric Wineland closes in. And Wineland, by the way, is the only playoff driver inside the top 4. He's got a great chance here to take at least big points, if not a big win, in the first race of the playoffs.
That would definitely put this playoff championship into a tizzy, as some people might say, as Eric Wineland continues to close the gap, as we see Hixenboy. Now, he is trying everything he can to get around Lucas Heutzmer, and Heutzmer doing a great job using the lap car as a pick, goes back down to the bottom of the racetrack, gets a little bit of breathing space down the front straightaway. But now Hixenboy following him through, as Kurt Mills, who is behind the 63 of Hixenboy. Kurt Mills, again, you got to remember, -1 to the good in the playoffs, so he would love to get into a possible spot for the round of 8, especially with 2 drivers missing tonight in the playoffs, and he can't make the move. Lap traffic, a big factor here, as we're now 68 laps to go, and this is going to get very interesting as we're approaching green flag pit stop. Heutzmer up the racetrack, as now Hixenboy goes down to the bottom. They're not quite side by side though, as Heutzmer got a great run off of turns 3 and 4. Here they come off a turn, excuse me, that's turn 4 now. I get so confused at this racetrack. They are going so quickly here. You can't quite see where exactly they are at half the time. But I'm getting better here as we go throughout this one. Eric Wineland, though, still closing the gap now, almost a half a second to the race leader for Eric Wineland, as Hixenby still can't get quite by the 97 machine of Lucas Hoytsma. Gotta wonder if he is an SVG fan, because that was his number in the Xfinity Series. Now here comes Hixenby down the inside. Can't make the move. Yes, he can, but he might be met with the bumper of Hoytsma as they go into the next set of turns here. That is going to be 3 and 4. And oh my, this is getting very interesting as the laps continue to wind down here. If I am driving this one, I am saying probably going to pit here in the next 10 or 15 laps, as now our race leader is a half a second away here from being closed in on by Eric Wineland.
Yeah, I mean, how long is he going to leave this here? Is he going to try and make the move, Wineland, or is he going to just hang back? He's got to, I think, consider either option, because the approaching Joey Beck is going to sort of force his hand here in a moment, as Kirk Mills and Lucas Hoytsma now go side by side. That's Mills going right round the outside and up into 8th position. You mentioned earlier a couple of drivers who didn't attend here tonight from the playoffs. Well, a couple of drivers retired in the first 100 laps, don't forget, as well. Daniel Llewellyn and Jim Schofield both retiring in the same crash, a big crash down the backstretch, in which Schofield actually hit the wall pretty hard on the inside wall and never recovered from that. So that's 4 playoff drivers who either score very little points or no points at all from this first race in the round of 12.
Well, now it is pit strategy at this point for the race win. Eric Wineland versus Raymond Root. 0.3 of a second separating those two at this point, after Raymond Root almost had a 2-second lead. And now we are seeing cars going down to the bottom of the racetrack onto the apron. You got to wonder if those pit stop cycle is starting to take place here.
That was Edward Sherrod Jr. in the 10 car. He's already 39 laps down, so I think might be wanting to get his pit stop out of the way before everybody else does. But it might be a sign that those are about to begin. Raymond Root will certainly be hoping so, because Wineland is right there, 0.2 of a second. A further second back to Joey Beck as well, who's chasing. There they are, the two of them. This is the battle for the race lead. 55 to go.
55 laps to go here at Bristol Motor Speedway, as Raymond Root now having to defend. You can see that probably in his rearview mirror he's going, whoa, where the heck did you come from? And that is going to be something we got to keep our eyes on at this point. And also, who's going to play first between these two? Will it be Raymond Root, or will it be Eric Wineland? And the undercut becomes an option here for Eric Wineland. If he gets a fast pit stop, and maybe, and just maybe, he just does the left side tires, or excuse me, the right side tires. That might be a strategy, a 2-tire pit stop to the end of this race. There's loads of strategies at this point with just 53 laps to go.
And what does Wineland do here? How long does he wait? Does he go for it now? As they look into one, there's going to be lap traffic here, which is going to stop him. There's a 27, which is going to go another lap down. Tim Phillips now 14 laps down tonight. The driver still, though, completed the most miles this season. Here goes Wineland, down looking the inside. Oh, he's close. He is on that corner now as they come into 1 and 2 again. Root enters a bit higher, and he will keep the position, but only for now.
And Raymond, great diamond off of the corner to stay out in front, and he may have to do that move once again, as Wineland can't make the move down the front straightaway. Goes back to the bottom of the racetrack as Raymond stays up high. Diamond's off the corner. And here comes Raymond Root again. He's still leading here. What a great battle we have for the race lead. And gosh, it comes out on the speedway. Oh, man. That is a race you want to keep green.
Is it Joey Beck, who was dropped down from 3rd place down to 11th? Now, oh, is this pit window open now? Oh, it is. Dear me, you don't get long to figure it out, do you? But this has got to be the pit call now. They've had 80 laps there, nearly. That was a 75-lap green flag run. 80 laps on these tyres with the less than 50 lap mark already crossed. They've all got to come in here.
Final tire stop here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Now I'm going to be curious, do the leaders, does Raymond Root go for a 2 tires pit stop or 4 tires? Same with Eric Wineland. Who's going to try and make a bold call here at Bristol Motor Speedway as we see the pit stops commencing here? Fuel on the right side will go up here for Wineland. He goes back down. Okay, so both of these drivers taking 4 tires here. Here comes Root. He's going to get back out in front. And same with Eric Wineland. He will remain in that second spot. Man, there could have been loads of possibilities, but everyone going the conventional conservative way of a 4-tire pit stop. And let's take a look at what has brought out this caution here. And oh, just a little bit of snap, just a snap off the corner. Back and back goes sideways.
Yeah, so that car was loose out of 3 and 4, and it just carried on. Oh, he did find the wall as well. So Beck was one of those who came in. He is still on the lead lap. Only one driver stays out. That's Brandon Mayfield. I'm not sure that was intentional, actually, but it might have been. I don't know. He might have actually had to stay out for the wave around, now I think of it. He might have been a lap down. But anyway, we're going to have 12 on the lead lap, almost all of them on new tyres, apart from Mayfield, who's going to drop down. That is that. For pit stops, you would imagine everyone's on their last set of tyres now. It's a race to the end from here.
Well, this is going to be very interesting. Does Raymond Root try his same strategy as he did in the last green flag run and just go pedal to the metal here? Because this time it's not as long of a green flag run, as we will probably go green with 45 to go. And if he does, he will win this race because he had some quickness off the start line. Same with Eric Wineland. I can imagine Wineland's probably thinking the same thing. So here we go through turns 3 and 4. It comes down to this. Pace car is off. Green flag will fly. And away we go. Good restart there by Raymond Root, getting a bit of a gap to Eric Wineland, as he knows this is probably his last opportunity to probably try and steal a win from a playoff driver, Eric Wineland. And oh, do we have some contact in the back? And everybody, yes, that was Hoytsma. Hoytsma was sent up the racetrack, probably scraping the wall as well. And everybody just trying to figure out a way to get back down to the bottom of the racetrack, as Raymond Root, he's doing exactly what he did last time. He is trying to take off with this and get a big gap.
I'm amazed that Hoytsma didn't have more go wrong for him there, actually, as he came out of 2. That was contact for sure, but he gets away with it. Loose for 63, just up in front. Hicksonburg now under pressure from Blake Kluart in towards 3 and 4. Yeah, it was 3 and 4 again. Hicksonburg on the outside stays ahead just when it matters most. Benefil and Hicksonburg are right up in the top 5 again.
Oh man, this is going to get intense very quickly here, as now Wineland has closed the gap to the race leader of Raymond Root. And Adam Benefil, he's watching this, and now here comes Hicksonburg. He's trying to go around the outside of Benefil, his championship rival here at FLCC Xfinity live on Maconi Entertainment. And these guys are going back and forth, very close to the wall for Hicksonburg off of corner number 2. And everybody in Benefil, he just accepts it at that point. He knows he lost that spot out and falls down to 4th. He was our early race leader and has not been back out in front since the end of stage number 1 here. And as now Raymond Root, he's out in front, but the battle for the race lead is on here, as between Eric Wineland and Raymond Root, those two are going side by side, it seems like.
They're very close anyway, if they're not side by side. Root not quite taking off as quickly as he did in that first run, and that's a bit of a surprise. Or maybe the others are staying as quick just to keep up with him here. I'm not entirely sure. But it was a 15.3 last time round from Hixenberg, which does suggest that they're just going a little bit quicker to try and keep up with him here. 36 to go it will be as they cross the line again in a moment. It's Root leading from Wineland and Hixenberg. Wineland just looks to the low side. End of another lap. This is getting tight here, and a great race for the lead.
Wineland, good run this time. Was able to pick up a little bit of speed through the corner, but can't quite make the move stick. But again, around Bristol, you just got to keep with it. Eventually that run will make it through. Here they come to complete another lap, and Root hit the wall and almost went into Wineland. Wineland, oh man, that was very, very close. And whoo, that could have been an absolute disaster for our race leaders here. Is now Wineland getting alongside Goodyear to Goodyear tire as they go down the back front straightaway once again. And Root this time, he might have to close down on the 87 car. Now he gets a pick from the lap car. Here comes Wineland trying to take the bottom of the racetrack side by side. And Root navigating lap traffic flawlessly. Here comes Hixenberg. He's into the battle here. 3-car battle for the race lead.
Is he going to turn underneath them and make it 3 wide? No, it's too early in the race for that, and he knows that he doesn't really need to win this race for the championship. Hixenberg, he just needs to safely get through these 3 races and make it into the round of 8. But if he can secure it in this first race of the 3, then he'd be very pleased to do so. He's already won 7 times in his 24 starts this season. Can he win for an 8th here as the 2 in front continue their battle? It doesn't matter whether there's traffic or not. Root is able to make it 3 wide and continues to hold firm on the outside line.
These guys going absolutely pedal to the metal here with now 30 laps to go. And this is getting spicy now. Wineland, he is out in front by just a nose. Root, no, not going anywhere. Hixenberg enjoying the show here in that 3rd spot. Adam Benefield trying to get up closer. He would love to be in this battle. Wineland trying to get now a half a car out in front. Root coming back though on that outside line, using all the momentum that he can now through 1 and 2. And here they come through down the back straightaway. And finally, Wineland wrestling that position away. But here comes Hixenberg, who's now right there, stays almost out in front, but has a moment as now we see Root take back the 2nd spot, the battle for 2nd, and Root back into the wall. Oh man, this thing is getting absolutely crazy. Wineland enjoying this so far as he gets a little bit of breathing space.
He will absolutely be lapping this up, and there's not very many laps remaining, let's not forget. So these guys have got to figure it out soon. Otherwise, they are going to let Wineland get away with this race win here in 87. 26 to go as they cross the line again. And Root gets clear now. He's got to give chase to Wineland quickly. Otherwise, he's going to come under more pressure from Hixenberg behind. More traffic again. Traffic is going to be a big factor here. About half of the cars, in fact, exactly the half of the cars that are still running are 1 lap down and being lapped multiple times by these leaders.
Oh man, this is getting absolutely crazy. And if you've ever been in a situation like this, your heart is pounding out of your chest as now Raymond Root is holding on to 2nd, having to depend off of now what will be 4 cars in this one for the 2nd spot. Eric Wineland, who was 1 to the good in the playoffs, is now out in front and looking to lock himself in for the round of 8.
That was very wide from Hixenberg, and Kluat is going to make his way up into 4th place in the 4th car and looking pretty strong as well. Benefield's going to be looking in his mirrors just a little bit on the way towards 1 and 2 there, but doesn't have to do any defending. Kluat really strong through the middle of the corner. Look at the way he turns down there through 3 and 4. Is he on the inside line? He is, and forces Benefield up high in the battle for 3rd place.
Oh man, Kluat doing a great job through that the corner, but here comes Hixenberg now. Hixenberg using that outside line, not diving off the corner, just going around the corner, and he will retake the 4th spot away from Kluat as they now complete another lap. 20 laps to go here at Bristol Motor Speedway as laps continuing to tick off here. Eric Wineland, he is enjoying the fact that these guys are battling behind him because he's almost out in front by a full 2nd here. About 0.7 of a second, and lap traffic not as heavy as it has been for this race here in the final closing moments here on Friday Night Lights. And you can see Hixenbaugh, he is starting to also get a little bit of space from Kluat, but Kluat is right there. You also have Benefil, who is trying to go down the inside of Root for the second spot. Benefil would love to pick up some good points tonight to really just secure his spot in the round of 8 even further. Same along with Hixenbaugh. Hixenbaugh, who's 58 points to the good. If he wrecks tonight, I don't think it would particularly matter because he's picked up some solid stage points as well. And you can just see these guys, this is just getting insane. I love when we see racing so close, but yet so far from the race leader of Eric Wineland. Wineland out in front by 0.7 of a second. Ewan, this is getting absolutely crazy here.
Oh, contact! Go. Oh my word, Benefil there got so loose and he made contact with Raymond Root. Now he's got to gather himself very quickly because Bryson Hixenbaugh comes up on the outside. Blake Kluat is out there as well. Benefil there was in a position to maybe take second and run down the race leader, but now he's looking over his shoulder and defending places inside the top 5 who get caught behind lap traffic. Oh, he's down to 5th place.
Oh no, and almost loses it there. Now the 69 of Kurt Mills, who was -1 to the good to coming into tonight's race. He's in the top 10, going for top 5. He would love to get into the playoff. And all 3 cars into the wall. They're scraping the wall like Ross Chastain did at Martinsville. And everybody gathering it back up here. And oh my Lord, 13 laps to go. Kluat's not going anywhere on Bryson Hixenbaugh. Hixenbaugh on that inside line. You can see that Benefil, he is enjoying the battle, but he would love to get these 2 spots back. Now Benefil to the outside of Hixenbaugh as Kluat will take the spot away for the 3rd spot. And Benefil right there. He goes up high and he goes into the wall. He gets sideways and he saves it. Oh, he was close to bringing out a caution, which I'm not going to lie, would not have been good at this point in the race for a whole lot of drivers. Especially for Eric Wineland, who's now almost out in front by 0.8 of a second. You can see now Kurt Mills, he sees Hixenbaugh. Mills goes down the inside. Can't quite get around though. Can't get to the inside bumper, and now trying to find the momentum as we go 9 laps to go. Hixenbaugh up the racetrack and scrapes the wall. He's running around the wall.
Wow. Benefil and Hixenbaugh, who have shown themselves to have 2 of the better long-run cars tonight, have suddenly dropped themselves out of the top 5. Extraordinary run from Kurt Mills and also from Cameron Stone here late on. Raymond Root, meanwhile, loses out to Blake Kluat. The gap for Wineland grows to over a second with 7 to go. Kurt Mills now on the inside of Root, who's seeing his tyres fall away for a second run in a row. Raymond Root might be outside the top 5 soon.
Oh, this is getting absolutely intense as we go 7 laps to go. 6 laps, excuse me. Kurt Mills, he's making a last late race charge here, trying to get out into a top 3 finish. As Kluat currently in 2nd, and Kurt Mills, and right now Raymond Root, he is holding on for dear life as he's got some very fast cars right behind him. Raymond Root, who we thought maybe had a good chance to win, almost out of the top 5. Adam Benefil currently down behind Raymond Root and would love that spot as well. Lap traffic once again a factor here with now 4 laps to go here on Friday Night Lights. And I tell you what, it sure gave us a show here so far. And I don't think we're quite done just yet here on Maconi Entertainment live on YouTube. And you can see Eric Wineland, he is enjoying this. He's out to his 2nd lead. At this point, he just has to keep that car pointed forward as now we see the 57 of Cameron Stone. Stone there in the top 5. He's going to try and move down the inside. He would love to pick up some extra points as well, as he is also a playoff driver who's +2 to the good coming into tonight's race. Cameron Stone, but can't quite make the move stick around the inside as we see Kurt Mills running that higher line, but doesn't get it too high where the marbles are at. White flag displayed one more time around here around Bristol Motor Speedway as Eric Wineland, coming through 3 and 4 here. He will take the checkered flag. Eric Wineland wins here at Bristol, and he locks himself into the round of 8.
Oh, what a great drive from Wineland. What a fantastic drive. 8th place when the playoff points were applied here after making 22 starts in the regular season. It's the first race of the round of 12, these playoffs at the end of the year, and Wineland takes a victory straight away. His first victory of the season, his 5th top 5 of the year, and what a time to get those as well. What a great victory from Wineland. What a great drive. What a time to get it as well.
Well, he's going to burn down the house tonight at the last great Coliseum in the United States, and congratulations to him. I think we're going to have a great interview from him. He is going to be pumped about this win tonight. You couldn't have driven a better race if you tried.
No, absolutely.
What? And he does the Polish victory lap as well.
Yeah, he'll go around the opposite way. He's the only driver out there now. Just waited for everybody to come into pit lane before celebrating his victory properly. What a fantastic drive, though. What a great race from Wineland. I mean, patience was the key there. You saw Raymond Root go out and lead quite a lot of laps in the last 100, but it was not about how many laps he can lead. It's about the last one, lap 300. And in the end, he held 1.1 seconds. He timed it just right as well, because just in those final 5 or 10 laps, Blake Clouart was starting to actually close on him, and certainly had better lap times late on there. But Wineland had done the early work. He'd got in enough gap, and that was one of the reasons why he was able to bring it all the way home. What a great race, and what a way to start the playoffs.
And you're exactly right. What a great kickoff to the playoffs for FLCC Xfinity. And oh man, and here he goes. Now he's gonna burn it down. Just don't Connor Zilic it, and he doesn't. Just going around in circles. And that's what we do on oval tracks, and you get to be the man to celebrate here. Eric Wineland, congratulations to you, and you get the win here tonight. Well, what a race there. We're gonna take a quick break here and then come back with the results and post-race interviews here on Maconi Entertainment.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need: Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And welcome back here to Bristol Motor Speedway, where we just saw one heck of a race here on Friday Night Lights live on Maconi Entertainment. Adam Thompson with Ewan O'Leary. And Ewan, why don't you take us through the results from that one?
First round of the playoffs taken by Eric Wineland in car 87. There you see it, 1.1 seconds is gap to Blake Clouet on the podium with Kirk Mills. We'll chat to the three of them in a sec. Cameron Stone and Adam Benefield round out the top five. Bryson Hicksonbo ends up outside the top five. Unusually, but still solid points for the points leader in the playoffs. Raymond Root down to 7th late on. Lucas Hoitzmer, 97, ends up 8th at Mark Paget. And Joey Beck, one of those who took on a slightly different strategy tonight. 1 lap down for Brandon Mayfield. Connor Cunningham, 2 down. Rory Collins got to the end of the race, 4 down. Bryce Rayner, 8 laps down with Hunter True, one of our playoff drivers, just circulating it late on there, getting 15th at Matthew Boston Wheeler. Tim Phillips, 17th. He's still completed the most miles of anybody this season. Austin Evie, Carl Ammon, and Kevin Zosiak round out the top 20. And then those that didn't actually see the checkered flag: Alex Coffey, who just got over 200 laps, Edward Scherer Jr., who just got under 200 laps, then Steve Benjamin, Brandon Hastings, Noah Woods, top 25. In the same crash as Woods was Daniel Llewellyn, Jim Schofield, and Mason Lowry, all at the same part of the race. Cody Bird and Tanner Martney also retired fairly early on, as did Dave Hoitzmer and Charles Eaton, who retired after just 14 laps tonight.
Thank you very much, Ewan. And we get to talk to some of the drivers here tonight. We're going to start off with our third place finisher of Kurt Mills. Kurt, you were -1 to the good coming into tonight's playoff race in the opening round, and you finish in third. Just talk about that one.
Hell, the car was fantastic. First, before I say anything else, hang on. I'm going to say this to dedicate this win to every family member and everybody who listened to Charlie Kirk and his entire family. That's what we were trying to honor to this weekend, and glad we could get a podium finish. It's really emotional for me, but outside of that, the car, man, it was loose out of the gate. That thing was trying to hit the rear end of the wall every time we came through the corner. That thing just could not hang on to it. And I got to tell you, after that first big wreck that everybody got involved with, like however many laps it was, 47 got in it. Had to come down, get repairs, whole thing. But I tell you what, third place for this Precision Speed Solutions machine. I mean, all the props over to them. We worked together for the last week from Tuesday from the update, because iRacing ghosted us with a random update that changed how Bristol drives. And I really don't like when they do that, man. Don't change the cars without telling us. Please tell us that something changes. But this time they didn't tell us. But it most certainly did. So the car was fantastic. Getting third tonight, Adam, I got to say, it's just really awesome. Bristol's my home. I grew up less than 15 minutes away from here, Kingsport, Churchill, small town. And I just got to say, I love this place with all my heart and soul, and I'm just so dang happy to be able to finish P3 here. In the spring, we got second, 1 spot away from the win, but I'll take third tonight. We didn't have the winning car, but we definitely fought hard throughout the night and had luck on our side to get the third tonight.
Well, it seemed like you had a pretty exciting race. Is there anybody else you would like to thank for the podium finish here tonight?
Oh, absolutely. I got to say, Maconi Entertainment always bringing the best. I know I'm going to be on the broadcast tomorrow night. Make sure you tune in. It's going to be a lot of fun for the Cup Series guys. But got to also thank Precision Speed Solutions. They are fantastic. I tell you what, that's where I get. I work with them to be able to build great setups week in and week out, and it's worked out for us now. Oh, man. And I'm also very happy for Eric Wineland. And he's my buddy all year. He's running with me before I joined Precision Speed Solutions. I was running with Eric Wineland and Mark Paget. And I got to say, those two guys are so much fun to watch and hang out with. And I just know there's a lot of joy in that 87 car. And when you talk to him, I'm sure you'll hear it. I'm so proud of him and everybody on the racetrack for keeping it clean. It was really nice racing out there. And thanks also to Cameron Stone. He was very kind to me at the last lap. He raced me hard, but he raced me clean. And I very much appreciate that gesture. Not everybody does that, and he's one of those people that if you race him respectfully, he'll give you the same respect back. So I thank him a lot as well. And again, one more time, my thoughts and prayers always go out to everybody involved with Charlie Kirk and his entire organization at Turning Point and across colleges, campuses, and across the United States. Nobody should be killed like that. Absolutely nobody. I don't care who it is. It shouldn't be done that way, and I am so angry that it happened. And so that's why I want to put them on the car. I didn't even put our own team logo on the car this week. So, yeah, it's starting to hit me hard now. But thank you, Adam.
Yeah, thank you very much. And some breaking news here. With your finish tonight, you are plus 24 to the good. So you were -1 coming into tonight, and you're plus 24 to the good. Good luck next week.
Oh, thank you, Adam. Hey, thank you, Ewan. I got it right this time. All right. Thanks, guys. All right. I'm going to head down. Best of luck.
Thanks.
Kurt Mills, our third place finisher there. And what a great interview he is. And we'll bring in our second place finisher here tonight. And first off, Blake, I need you to tell us your last name so we actually get it right on the broadcast.
It's Kluot. I live in Louisiana.
Okay.
So.
All right. So Blake Kluot, our second place finisher here tonight. You were beating and banging a little bit on your way up through the field, but you come home with a second place finish. Go ahead and tell us about your race here tonight.
Yeah, I was really good in the long run. I didn't have any short run speed, but I mean, I wasn't beating and banging that bad. I will say I did have 0x at Bristol, and I think that's worthy of something. 300 laps, 0x. I did accidentally door Raymond. I did apologize for that, but other than that, I think I did keep it clean. But yeah, I was a lot faster in the long run, so all these short runs were killing me. Every time I would start to pick up the pace, start passing people, there'd be a caution. So, but I mean, I got P2. A lot better than I thought I was going to do. So.
Well, it was a great race. We were watching you going kind of back and forth throughout the field, and on that final green flag run, it seemed like the car just absolutely came alive in the final closing laps. You know, to get all the way to P2, especially when you had some gaggle of cars that you had to get through. You had Benefil, you had Hickson by, you had Roots, Hoytsma. I mean, that had to have been very exciting. My heart would have been pounding out of my chest.
Yeah, I like racing against those guys. They're very clean, and I can trust that they're not gonna, put me in the wall or door me. I probably haven't gained that trust from them yet, but it's always fun to race around these guys. I race against most of them sometimes throughout the week, so it's always fun racing with them.
And who would you like to thank for the second place finish?
I got to thank all the guys at P1 Racing. We do practice all week. Thank Team Conti for the set. I mean, it's incredible, especially in the long run. I want to thank GWC Paints and John Nichols for hooking me up with this paint scheme, and all my friends and family watching.
Well, you're not in the playoffs, but a solid second place finish. Congratulations.
Thank you, buddy.
We'll see you next week.
Yes, sir. See you next week.
Blake Kluot, our second place finisher. Well, I think we're going to bring in our race winner here, Ewan, and I think we're going to have a very excited driver here.
Yeah. Well, he's deafened at the moment, so hopefully he hopefully actually lets himself listen to us in a moment, if possible. I mean, it doesn't matter what we say at the moment. He's in it. Oh, here we go. Maybe we can chat with Eric now.
All right, Eric Wineland, our winner here tonight, locking himself into the round of 8. Eric Wineland. Eric, what a race you had tonight. Probably unexpected as well.
Adam, a little unexpected. I had a really good run here in the spring, and I can't thank Mark Padgett enough. I got him hooked up with what I had in the spring. We compared with what he had, and the two independents went to work, and I ended up with a pretty good race car. It felt like I wasn't sure. I was really loose in practice and testing, so I was trying to keep it that way because I figured I would tighten up in the race as it got cooler, and it certainly did. But what a piece, man. I enjoy this racetrack. I love managing your tires, knowing when to push it and use the stuff up. And some of those battles with Raymond had me white knuckling the wheel at him, but we held on.
Well, talk about stage 3, because that's where it really came down to. Raymond Root just took off. Did you just go, I'm just going to preserve my tires. I'm not going to press the issue? Because he almost had a 2-second lead on you in the start of the third stage.
Yeah, that's absolutely the way I wanted to play it. The start of the stage, I wanted to see if I could get him to use this stuff up top, and it happened to work out. But then he started to drive away, and I said, okay, we'll let the carrot get out there. We'll know what to chase a little later on. So I wanted to let him get out there. He probably got out there pretty far. I never actually watched the gap. I just kept an eye on that purple car further up out the windshield. And as the lap times I saw started to flip my way over here on my telemetry, I had a good feeling that I had done well enough. And keeping the gap behind me consistent too. I think I kept a second ahead of Adam and Bryson and the Team Conti guys behind. So yeah, Adam, that stage 3 run, it was just take it time, pace yourself, make it happen. I didn't want to see the yellow, actually. I was looking forward to the green flag battle on like 80 lap tires or wherever we were at that point. But I got a second chance, took a crack at it with hanging on to it, but keeping pace, and it happened to work out for this whole Drafty Car 2 Toyota Supra.
Well, that caution comes out, restart comes. I would say both Ewan and I probably went, Raymond's probably going to do the same thing. He's going to try and just take off with it, which he did, but you stuck with him and you found a way by, and then you just pretty much checked out. You were over a second out in front. Nobody really a threat behind you as everybody else was battling for the remaining podium spots. Talk about just that final restart.
More of the same, honestly. It was try to get him to work hard and maintain the bottom so I could try to take care of what I had. Now, I was definitely pushing harder with the shorter stint that we had coming up, but I wanted to make it work down on the bottom. We kept after it, and eventually the advantage swung in my direction. I did start to slide up on him a little bit, trying to use up more entry to diamond the exit straighter, or exit the corner straighter, excuse me, and make that run toward turn 1. If I could I actually wanted to slide him and clear him, but we were able to get the drive off on one of the corners, clear up, and then I said, let's just set sail. At this point, they'll be battling behind, and we'll drive away, and that's what we did, Adam.
Well, you locked yourself into the round of 8, so congratulations. Anybody you would like to thank for the race win here tonight?
Yeah, huge shout out to Mark Padgett again for working with me on setup. The two independents working together all year. It really sucks he didn't get a playoff. I really wanted to see him take a shot at it at Gateway. Unfortunately, he got taken out in a weird wreck. So he still came out and helped me here at Bristol tonight, and I can't thank him enough all season, but especially tonight working with me. Thank you to Kirk for hanging out with us as well. Obviously, he's got a team now, so he's not hanging out too much with us through the playoffs, at least. Got a few more here. I'm sorry, it's going to take a little long. Bobby and Jason, thank you guys. The race control here at Full Length Challenge Friday Night Lights Xfinity Series is top notch. They did a really good job helping all the drivers at the lead pack out tonight with all the wrecks that apparently happened behind that. They're pretty quality. If you want a good league to run, come find the Full Length Challenge, whether it's Friday nights here in Xfinity or Saturday nights in Cup. It's pretty awesome. Bryson Hicksonball for helping put this thing on too. I'll lop him in there too. And then obviously you guys here at Maconi Entertainment and the production crew, Ewan, Adam, and I'm missing my man Howie, who I've been racing against in a road league a couple times. Missing out on him tonight, but I hope he's watching. And then Jake Nichols, this paint looks awesome with the new decals as well for the playoffs. I think this looks pretty cool. And of course, Brian Blackford and Drafty Car 2 and Speedway Labs. If you want a great game to play, Drafty Car 2 on Steam in early access right now, go check it out. We've been having a lot of fun running it a couple nights here on the weekends and getting after it. So I can't thank Brian Blackford for letting me run this enough and putting a sponsor on this car. It looks awesome, and I'm looking forward to the next round, and then hopefully we can make something happen to get toward a championship race, guys.
All right. Well, congratulations. Thank you so much for joining us here. And we'll see you here next week.
All righty. Thank you, Adam.
Eric Wineland, our race winner. Well, Ewan, from across the pond, what are some of your final thoughts here from tonight?
Well, it's just a great race. I was just saying it in the break, actually, just between the race and the interviews there, that I do find this track a little bit dull when it's really filled with cautions. You know, it's an exciting track, though, when you get green flag runs. And to do those last 130 laps with just one caution is, first of all, a testament to the 20-odd drivers who actually got to the finish tonight. But also, you know, the fact they managed to keep it green throughout those final 130 laps mostly was absolutely fantastic between everybody. So well done to everybody on that. But what great drama there at the end. I mean, Eric Wineland hasn't won a race all season, got in on points to the playoffs, and now he's into the round of 8. And this is the beauty of this format, isn't it? For all of its detractors and its downsides, which it no doubt has, it also has the upsides of such drama being created and such unexpected results being created. Wineland would not have been the first pick for everybody tonight to win, that's for sure, but he has done, and that's a testament to this format. He'll be in the round of 8 now with a great chance to go on and do something special this season.
Well, it's definitely going to be an interesting battle to follow here. And of course, we saw drama, we saw fenders and tempers, and we saw pretty much everything that Bristol has to offer. And we didn't need that PJ1 on the bottom of the racetrack. So, well, that tonight, it will do it. Next week is Kansas, if I remember you saying that correctly.
Yep.
And that will be another great one to watch. Make sure if you're sitting at home watching on YouTube, you hit that subscribe button and click the like button if you love tonight's race as much as I did. We appreciate your support here on Maconi Entertainment. My name is Adam Thompson for Ewan O'Leary, Christian Hill, our producer tonight, and we will say good night here from Maconi Entertainment.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.